Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking all about the ileocecil valve. If you've never heard of this, it's a funny name. It's the valve that is in between the small intestine and the large intestine. It's where the small intestine ends and the large intestine begins. Right here in the lower right section of your abdomen. Alright, let's get started with this first technique. And now, so I'll show you how to find it. There's probably tons of millions of videos of all this, but there's also videos of this technique. But, so here is, just locate the hip bone, the front hip bone here. Okay, nice. And then right on the inside of that bone, so just go about 2 inches in and press down very lightly, very gently. Just nice little palpations. Okay, if that's hurting you, then your valve is not very happy. So, just light massage like that can be good too, but I'll show you the specific technique that I use. I have just done some palpations. So palpating just means to go in and, just pressing in and letting go, in and out here. And if it's tender, you don't ever want to be putting yourself in any pain, obviously. So just go to your pain tolerance there. Just stay a little uncomfortable is fine, but don't push it, because you don't want to disturb it anymore. It's already upset, so from malfunctioning and being disrupted. So you just do light palpitations or palpations. Don't do any palpitations. I've had plenty of those too. You don't need those. I don't have those anymore. Stay tuned for some more videos of how to get rid of palpitations, or at least lessen them, as long as you don't have any heart conditions. So, pressing in, take both of your fingers like this, 2 fingers on both sides, go in, pressing down, just so it's not painful, and then you're gonna drag, push down and drag the skin and drag it up towards your body, up towards your chest, towards your ribs, towards your head. So I'm moving my hands around right now because I'm showing everything, but pressing in and pulling up and just holding the skin, tractioning the skin this way towards the upper body, and just holding the fingers there for 30 seconds. You do it a little longer, 45 seconds, but I've always just did 30 seconds and it worked great for me. So that's it. You can have the feet flat, or I have my knee up a little bit here. Just up my feet. And I kind of tilt my pelvis and it's like I'm thrusting up a little bit, pressing in, so you can kind of get in there a little deeper. So you can start that as well. So that's also a part of the technique you can kind of play around with, is, just doing like where you lift your hips up off the ground and kind of tilt your hips and let your belly drop in. And you can really make your belly really squishy. You want it to be really nice and relaxed and squishy in there. So you can lift up, you can kind of just tilt the hips up like this and pull in and traction. Do it for 30 seconds, 45 seconds, and that's fine. You can do it a couple times a day, maybe morning and night, or whenever it comes up. Don't over massage and overdo it. Just do it for once and let your body rest for a while for the day, and then do it again later. Yeah, and so 3 techniques. So 1 more or 2 more, but the next one would be same idea with the pulling the direction up. So you want to go into that valve spot. 1 hand's fine, but 2 hands is fine too. And just pressing in a little bit and dragging across the skin up towards, well, in this case, the liver and gallbladder. So just underneath the ribs. And and then pressing in again and up, pressing in and dragging up, pressing in and dragging up. And just do it a handful of times, maybe 7, 8 times. This can be good if you can't put much pressure on it at all. This is more of an energetic technique as well. It's or like a meridian. It's like in the fascia. It's a fascia technique, I should say, not necessarily meridian technique. But you're tractioning just nice and getting into the skin, the tissue, and the fascia underneath the skin, and a little bit into the muscles. So, with that said, the third and last technique, let's go ahead and get it done. Now with the ileocecil valve, this is partly part of my past where I've had a lot of issues with this. So I've done a lot of studying, a lot of techniques. So I'm gonna go over that with you today. And I'm actually just gonna read a few things off on a long list of things. What could happen, what could go wrong, or what kind of symptoms come from your ileocecil valve being disturbed. So a short list, because it's more than this, is basic abdominal pain, abdominal discomfort, bloatiness, gas, diarrhea, constipation, nausea, vomiting, fatigue, indigestion, allergic reactions when there's food sensitivities or allergic reactions that weren't previously there, skin issues, autoimmune symptoms, brain fog, weight changes. I've had all of these. To put it plainly. So what to do about it? Why does it happen? Well, it can happen because of things that you're eating, eating food that you're sensitive to or allergic to, and too much of something that is like vinegar, or I've even heard cinnamon, too much cinnamon. Just certain things and herbs can disturb the valve and cause it to malfunction. So what does that mean? The valve is actually there to open and close, of course. So as the substance comes through your small intestine, it is going to come up against that valve. The valve opens up and it goes into the large intestine, and then once a certain amount passes through, it'll close again. We have valves throughout our body. So this is the ileocecil valve down here. We have the sphincter valve in the upper and lower in the esophagus. So there's one right here. So when you're burping, the air comes up and you hear that little burp sound. That's because it's going through that sphincter right there in the throat. And there's also one right above the stomach, at the lower esophageal sphincter, the lower esophagus. And that, of course, whenever you eat food, these valves open and close as it moves through your digestive system. So when this one starts malfunctioning, the ileocecil valve in your lower abdomen, all these symptoms can come up because what happens is that the digestion of what's in your colon, the large intestine, starts to come back and it gets backed up and comes back into the small intestine. You do not want those toxins coming back into your small intestine. That's at that point that is turned into feces, and that's toxic material for your body. So you need to be getting rid of it instead of having it coming back into your small intestines. It's very graphic sounding, and it is, but that's just what happens. So you could do it. You overeating, eating the wrong foods that that you're sensitive to. So if you're eating foods and you're having some sort of reaction, like you get mucus build up, you're having inflammation from the food. Sometimes I get a lot of sinus inflammation if I eat something that I'm not supposed to be eating. Cheese can do that to me. People have a lot of different. It's across the board. Some people will be affected by this food more than affected by this food. So each person has to find out what's right for them. Now I will say, being on a ketogenic diet and a keto carnivore hybrid diet, with very little cheat meals, being pretty strict. I'm doing it in 10 times better. I don't have issues with my valve pretty much ever anymore. I used to have it constantly. And I'd have to do the technique that I'm going to show you today every single day. I'm going to show you a couple different techniques. So, what else can cause the valve to malfunction? So, again, I'm going to read off a small list. Well, it's not that small, but a small list of things that can disrupt and cause the ileocecil valve to not be very happy and malfunction. So, wrong list. Dietary issues, which we covered a little bit. So poor diet, holy shit. So the first thing on the list is poor diet. So we covered a little bit of that with certain foods, poor food quality, poor diet, excessive processed foods, ultra processed foods for sure. Way too much sugar, way too much oxidized or rancid oils, rancid industrial seed oils, rancid nuts and seeds, fried foods, you know, all the bad stuff. Of course, sugar, alcohol could definitely irritate. Stress, chronic stress, infections, bacterial, viral infections cause inflammation. So again, inflammation from food, inflammation from stress, inflammation from not sleeping long enough or well enough, inflammation from infections, irritable bowel, inflammatory bowel disease, irritable bowels, structural abnormalities, congenital or acquired, physical trauma, food allergies or sensitivities, imbalanced gut flora, which all comes because of all the poor diet, stress, inflammation, all that. Adhesions or scar tissue. From post-surgical adhesions, scar tissue, neurological disorders, conditions that affect the nerve function can lead to improper convalescence. So, okay, so something just popped in my mind. The vagus nerve, good vagal tone is what you want. So the vagus nerve is the longest or one of the most widely branched nerves in your body, and it starts in the base of the skull, base of the brain, and it branches out in the neck, goes into the ears, into the neck, down the shoulders, and then from there it goes into the body into the heart, lungs, the whole digestive system, and the kidneys and adrenals. So this is a whole separate video. Vagus nerve is a huge subject, but the vagus nerve affects all the valves in your body. So the two esophagus valves and the valves in your the ileocecil valve, and the one on the other side, which is called the Houston valve, which is at the end of your large intestine, at the beginning of the rectum, and then some people call your duodenum, or whatever. Either way, after the stomach comes out, and so right before the small intestines and right after the stomach is the duodenum, and that some people can look at that as a valve as well. And so, with that said, let's get into the techniques. All right, let's do it. We got our headstand device here, and we're just gonna go upside down, and I'll talk to you from there. Sometimes I start slow. Okay, so basically, this is you can do an all abdominal massage here, just very gentle here. Once you're comfortable with going upside down, then you can start doing this, but this is more advanced. And you can also just get into that valve, that ileocecil valve right there on the right. And what I do here is I just jiggle it. And it's the upper ascending colon here as well. Sometimes I get a little bit of just doesn't feel so good in there. Then I just kind of shake my belly a little bit around my blood. Come here. No, you can't jump on me. Come here. So, then I just hang here it's good for your organs to get upside down because it lets the organs get suspended back up instead of just being pulled down by gravity. Okay, come up nice and slow. Come down slow, come up slow. All right, and that's it. The going upside down, just start slow. Do it for a very short period of time. I don't stay upside down for more than a couple minutes. I like to go upside down every single day. I pretty much do it every day. And it's great to get upside down for your blood circulation. It's good for your heart, good for your circulation to your legs actually, which is counterintuitive. It's also good to get those organs to move back up because they can just start sagging and sagging and sagging. And so when you have a poor diet and you have processed foods in you and you start gaining weight, you're not only gaining fat, visceral fat around your body, like on the outside that you can see, you're gaining fat around the organ itself. So just like the fat that is around your body, your legs, your butt, everywhere, the same thing is happening to the actual organs. So there's a layer of fat around your liver, well, the liver starts to fill up with fat. But the other organs, the stomach and the pancreas and the gallbladder and the spleen and your intestines, there's layers of fat around that. So start changing your life. Go do it. You'll feel so much better. Stay tuned to other videos that I'm gonna make. I listened to a lot of videos from Dr. Berg. I listened to a lot of videos from Thomas DeLauer, videos on ketogenic diet, carnivore diet, intermittent fasting. So and just cutting out this nonsense with processed foods and ultra processed foods, like for sure ultra processed foods. You might have something that's really ultra processed once in a while. You might have some processed foods because you're out eating out or on vacation. Have a cheat meal here and there. You'll go to a birthday party and have just the regular cake that's from Walmart. It's fine. It's when you need to do it. Most of the time you need to get your shit together and get off all this toxic shit that's in food. So thanks for watching, and I know it's a long video, but I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video.